Very often in the Pine64 community, I'll see people asking if the PinePhone can be used as their daily driver phone yet. And while it can definitely be used for that for quite a lot of people, the PinePhone isn't ready for the average user just yet. And that's okay. Let me explain why. So indeed, today we're talking about what role the PinePhone currently serves. First, to answer the question of whether the PinePhone can replace your daily phone, the answer to that question is maybe. It depends what you do. If you don't require a lot of your phone, it may very well be possible to daily drive the PinePhone. It's definitely more likely to be possible if you're a hardcore Linux user, but if you're something like a heavy social media user, or use a lot of proprietary software, or just generally do a lot of things that can't be done on Linux, then the PinePhone might not be ready for you. The PinePhone really is a device for people who are really into Linux and free software, and that's okay. That's kind of the point of the device. The PinePhone, more than anything, exists to get Linux phones in the hands of developers and early adopters. The hardware is designed to be affordable more than to replace a flagship phone. Even the PinePhone Pro, which probably is powerful enough to replace a flagship phone, currently really exists to give developers and early adopters a platform to use mobile Linux with. Now, it goes without saying that this won't always be the case. One day, mobile Linux really will be ready for the everyday consumer, and the PinePhone exists to help reach that goal. But today and now, I'm going to say that the PinePhone really isn't quite there yet for the average consumer. Now, if you do try to use a PinePhone as your daily device, you might very well have a good experience. There is already a lot of software on the device after all, and most basic phone functions already work. But you might experience problems that are innate to being an early adopter of anything. For instance, the PinePhone is still lacking a lot of software. There are also still hardware enablement issues. Additionally, since the PinePhone is a Linux phone, you will still encounter situations where something is very clearly designed for desktop and not for mobile. Now, I do just want to say, none of this is to try and dissuade you from buying a PinePhone. I think that it's a fantastic device, and it's definitely creating a future where Linux phones are ready for the average consumer. But what I am trying to say is, if you do try to switch to a PinePhone for your daily driver, definitely be ready to experience teething problems as an early adopter. And I would definitely advise against using a PinePhone if you're not super Linux savvy. But it definitely is a great device, and I would highly recommend picking one up, even just to mess around with it. But with that said, that's it for today's video. What did you think of it? Let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.